It's like, I don't know what God's going to do to me because I knew what the Bible said. I knew this passage. I knew other passages. And I didn't want to experiment with the, it's normal to experiment. Yeah, well, experiment with an extreme burning. Experiment with the itch. Experiment with the fever. Experiment with the inflammation. Experiment with the scab. Experiment with the botch of Egypt. You don't want that stuff. And I'm telling you, you can be in so much pain. You say, well, if I'm in pain, I'll just take a painkiller. Here's the thing about painkillers. They work great for short-term pain. They don't work well for long-term pain. Because guess what? They stop working after a while. You build up a tolerance. And guess what? Then you get addicted and you take more and you take hardcore drugs. And the more hardcore the drug, the more addictive it is. And then you go down a downward spiral and it can literally kill you. I mean, let's face it. Prescription opioids are dangerous. Now short term, sometimes you have to hit that stuff. Again, it's a legitimate use. But man, you want to get off that stuff as fast as you can. The most painful experience of my entire life was what's known as dry socket. I was taking a max dose of Advil, max dose of Tylenol, and a max dose of oxycodone, and I was still writhing in pain and sleeping like 3 hours a night because the pain was so intense I just couldn't even sleep. I was miserable. It was torture. It was the worst thing I've ever experienced in my life. It was worse than being tasered. And being tasered hurts pretty bad. And I've done both. And let me tell you, and I'm not talking about those ones we take out soul winning because those are a joke. We taser ourselves with those for fun. We just play with, don't do that. It was a joke. I was kidding. Don't do that. But, those things are nothing. The ones that the police use that actually have little barbs that go into you and pump you with 50,000 volts, those are pretty painful. Still not as bad as dry socket, okay? And so, dry socket, man, it was torture, but I took that oxycodone for 6 days only. For 6 days, and then I got off it. And let me tell you something. Even in those 6 days, I experienced horrible side effects that I don't want to go into, but I experienced some unpleasant side effects, okay? Even just, and I, what I thought to myself? Anybody who's taking this stuff recreationally is an idiot. Because I'm just like, this is bad. And then, even after only taking it for 6 days, I experienced withdrawal symptoms for the first few days after getting off of it, after taking it for only 6 days. So that stuff is super addictive. And by the way, I never experienced any euphoria whatsoever. It never felt good. Look, I've broken bones and gotten hurt and gone to the hospital, and I've been injected with morphine, and I've been injected with something stronger than morphine. I forget what it was called. And I've taken oxycodone and everything. And you know what? It never made me feel good. Right. It never put me in a good mood. I never experienced any euphoria at all. It just took the pain away. That's all it did. But apparently for some people, it gives them feelings of euphoria. I don't know if it's genetic. I don't know why some people are somehow getting high with this stuff or whatever, but I never experienced it, but I thank God that I didn't experience it because the thing is, the more high people feel when they take the stuff, the more addictive it becomes to their body. And so, I feel like it's a blessing that I never experienced any good feeling because now I'm not like, ooh, I want to feel that again, I never felt anything. Thank God. Now for me, my most radical drug right now is a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's how I get high, okay? And it's super addictive. But anyway, but the point is that, you don't want to have God disciplining you or cursing your life because he can put you in long-term pain, and long-term pain is miserable because you're either not able to take medication and you're just suffering, or you're on drugs long-term and they're just ravaging your kidneys or giving you all kinds of other side effects, and you're just getting constipated, and you're just, I don't know what else these drugs do to you, but it's bad. And then you keep having to escalate it, and then you end up, prematurely dead. Boy, it happened to so many thousands or millions of people in the, what was it called? The opioid epidemic or something that happened, 10, 20 years ago or whenever that was?